Guys, welcome back to another lecture of Dental Pathshala, where we help you understand and learn dentistry better and easy. When this video is a continuation of the express revision course for endodontics, and today we'll be discussing few important points about post and core. So post is something which is inserted into the root, and core is the kind of a filling which is applied to construct the tooth structure. So this is about the post and core. So if you have seen any time post and core, you can also watch on the YouTube videos. So this is a post which is cemented into the root canal, and core is to build up the crown structure or build up the tooth structure. So the purpose of this post is to provide retention to the core. But in order to put a post, you have to remove some of the gutta percha. Also, you have to flare up this canal, root canal. So that is how you are removing the part of the dentine in order to put a post. So it weakens the tooth structure by removing more of the dentine around the root canal during the post space preparation. We have to prepare a space to put the post in there. And by removing some of the dentine in order to put the post, while we are creating this space, we are weakening the tooth structure because we are removing extra part of the root canal. So the purpose of post is only to give retention to the core so that the filling material does not go away and we can put crown on top of that. So when you are doing a root canal therapy, when you do not have more of the crown structure, in order to just do the filling, in order for the filling to retain in the tooth, to be retentive inside the tooth, we are also providing it with a post which goes inside the root canal. So that is the post and core. We have different kind of post. We have a post made up of metal, non-metal. The shape of post can be again variable. Like the post can be a tapered post can be a parallel post, and sometimes this post is more like a screw. If you have seen a screw or implant, it can be threaded like this. It can come with the threads. So it can be serrated or threaded post, or it can be a smooth post. So based on that, we have different kind of post, and what's the significance of these posts again. Now let's have a look at few important points regarding non-metallic post. So though non-metallic posts are not made up of metal, they resist high stresses without undergoing the permanent deformation and breaking. So the root fracture chances decreases if we use a non-metallic post. The sound tooth structure should be at least 1.5 millimeter all around the tooth. So all around the apical to the core, we should have at least 1.5 millimeter of the tooth if we are using a non-metallic post. Also, the sound, that means it should not be used if the tooth structure isn't enough. Then we have to use a metal post instead of a non-metallic post. The non-metallic posts are not made up of metal, therefore they are highly aesthetic, except for the C carbon post, because C carbon post are they reflect darker material. So other than that, all the non-metallic posts are aesthetics. In fact, the metallic posts can display the darkness of the metal, so they are unesthetic. Talking about the non-metallic again, they're easier to remove and they are prefabricated. So it's easy to use them since they are prefabricated non-metallic posts. They come in different sizes based on the canal, and we have to use it, try and fitting and see which size fits in the canal. So the most commonly used are the prefabricated non-metallic post. Now coming to examples of non-metallic post, we have post made up of zirconia, which is high strength, high modulus, but again zirconia is brittle, so it can lead to root fracture. It is difficult to remove. The ceramic post, again, it's difficult. In fact, it is impossible to remove, and ceramic is also brittle. It can be strong. It can cause the root fracture. Fiber reinforced resin post are the one which we have seen most commonly. So they are the form of non-metallic post, includes the carbon fiber, and the one which are made up of carbon fiber, guys, they can display unaesthetic because of the darker color. So it includes carbon fiber, fiberglass, and woven polythene ribbon reinforced composite. So the main disadvantage of these fiber reinforced is that it fray. Say suppose this was the fiber post. So what happens? It frays like this. The fibers in the post can fray. So that's the reason that it is not much used. Carbon fiber post shows very little deformation, but again they are aesthetic because of the darker color, and the post can shine through the tooth and show an aesthetic appearance. They can absorb and transfer forces similar to the dentine. In fact, the glass fiber post or the fiberglass post are brittle than ceramic. They are unidirectional fibers, therefore they are the strongest. The fiber bundles are difficult to produce, so as it requires infiltration and wetting with the resin, and the process can leave voids on the surface of the fiber and which can weaken the structure of the post. So coming to the metallic post. Metallic posts are made up of metal. They can either be prefabricated, comes in different sizes, can be serrated or threaded, and can be custom made cast. So the one from which we have taken impression from the wax, and then with the lost wax technique, we have fabricated it with the metal. These are the custom made cast posts. That means based on the anatomy of the canal, we have custom made this post with the metal. So these have good corrosion resistance, high yielding strength, and they are more radio opaque. See, one is if you are using a fiber post, another one you are using a metal post. It is obvious that the metal post will be more radio opaque because of the metal content. So if you see so much of radio opacity in a radiograph given in a picture in exam, then you can nicely appreciate that it is a cast metal post like in this particular structure. You can nicely differentiate the radio opacity of the gutta percha and the radio opacity of the metal over here. And you can easily appreciate the smooth surface of this cast post. So they are very smooth. On the other hand, if you see prefabricated metal post, you can find these serrations on the structure, on the wall of the post. So these are threaded threaded metallic post, since you can appreciate more radio opacity in these posts. So that is how in a radiograph you can tell which kind of post is this. So it is a tapered, smooth, cast metal post. And most of the time you use materials for cast metal post like stainless steel, titanium alloy, gold alloy, especially a type 4 gold alloy, which is the hardest alloy for gold. So if you are using this metal post in the core, you can direct use the restorative material. So the threaded post are the one which are going to exactly fit inside the canal. In fact, they are going to be so retentive that they will never come out. So, but the main disadvantage is that since they are producing lot of stresses onto the root canal, so they have got higher potential for the fracture of the root. So vertical root fracture again can be seen with this kind of if we use the threaded post. So it is recommended for post endo restoration, and they produce higher stresses onto the root canal, and therefore they have got the highest potential for the root fracture. And that's the reason we shouldn't use threaded post, because we have got higher chances of having a root fracture. Then what is the preferred post? That is parallel post. So if we are using parallel force, they are creating least stresses onto the tooth, onto the canal, and that's the reason they have least chances for the root fracture. Also they are more retentive. So the best preferred post are the parallel post, and that too cemented parallel post have got less chances of root fracture as compared with the screwed one. So cemented are going to be little bit loose, but we can use along with the cement in order to have a good fit. But if we are using screwed post, that means with the threads, the one which we are going to screw like screwed post or threaded post. If you are using threaded parallel post, again threaded post are going to create much of the stresses onto the tooth, and they can result in the root fracture. So that's the reason cemented parallel post are the best post to use. because they have least chances of having a root fracture. Then we have tapered post also, which are in a conical shape, which are tapering. So the tapered post are least retentive of all. They have also high incidence of having a root fracture if we compare it with a parallel post. And if you are using tapered screwed post, that means the one with a screw or serrations, then they have the maximum chances of having a root fracture because the concentration of stresses are at the post and core junction. So remember, the most preferred post are the cemented parallel post, or we can say smooth parallel post, because they have less chances of having a root fracture. Now let's go through the principles of using a post. So we know that we should leave 2 millimeter of circumferential tooth structure, that is the ferrule, and on the top of that we can give the core, and then we give the crown, or we can give a full coverage crown to that particular teeth. So the post diameter should not be exceeding 1/3 of the root diameter. So if you see the diameter of the root, say suppose the diameter of the root is this one. So divide it into 3 parts, and then the 1/3 should be the diameter of the post. So post diameter should not be exceeding, first of all, the canal diameter, and it should be 1/3 of the diameter of the root. So if it is exceeding 1/3 of the diameter of the root, then every 1 millimeter increase is going to reduce the dentine around the tooth. So every 1 millimeter increase will increase the risk of root fracture by 6 times. So remember, again, this has been asked in one of the options and questions, that if the root of the post diameter is increased more than 1/3 of the root diameter, so every 1 millimeter increase in the diameter will create the risk of having root fracture by 6 times. So based on the anatomy of the root, we have calculated a optimal post diameter. So optimal post diameter for a mandibular incisor is 0.6 millimeter. For maxillary incisor, maxillary and mandibular canines, and the palatal root of the maxillary first molar, which is the largest, has got 1 millimeter of the post diameter optimally. Rest all the teeth we can use 0.8 millimeters. So again, remember these values, because directly we can use this diameter of post. We don't have to calculate the anatomy every time. So we can directly use the post diameter. For mandibular incisor, we can use 0.6 millimeter. For maxillary incisor, maxillary mandibular canine, and palatal root of maxillary first molar, we can use 1 millimeter, and rest all the teeth 0.8 millimeter of the post diameter we can use. So tip of the post root should not exceed more than 1/3 of the width of the root. Also, when you are about to do a post and core, we should remove the gutta percha first. So how much gutta percha should be left inside the tooth is at least 4 millimeter of gutta percha should be there left inside the tooth apically. And this is to create apical seal or to prevent the leakage. So at least 4 millimeter, minimum of 4 to 5 millimeter of the gutta percha should be left inside the tooth apically. So that is again asked in a question. So what is the height? Now we have talked about the diameter of the post. What's the height of the post? Height of the post should be more than the crown, clinical crown of that particular teeth. At least a 7 millimeter of post should be there. So it should not extend more than 7 millimeters apically from the origin of the root canal or base of the pulp chamber. So it should be less than 7 millimeter. So if we are using post in anterior teeth, we know that there is only one canal and we can use this post in that canal. But what if we have to use post in a multi-rooted teeth? Then we have multiple roots and multiple canals. Then which canal we should select to put the post? So for the posterior teeth, especially molars, we should place the post in the primary roots. Now again, very important point, in the posterior teeth, in the molars, we should place the post on the primary roots, that is palatal root for the maxillary molar and distal root for the mandibular molars. So that is about the post and core. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. You can also check out the link in the description box below to read the notes of this particular video lecture. And you can also find notes of more interesting subjects on our website www.xtoot.com. Feel free to check out the playlist of our channel to watch more interesting videos like this and to solve the multiple choice question of this particular topic and more topics. So till then, keep reading, keep learning, stay motivated. I will see you soon in the next lecture.